With OET, like, honestly, okay, I'm gonna tell you something. So, EG's around in the tournament. So I played a bunch of Enchantress and pubs. I went to Boba, and I said, Enchantress is a broken hero. And he said, it's not as good in official as in real games, you know, as in pubs. You won't get as many kills. But Secret, I think they're showing what Enchantress does. It's the only hero that allows you to snowball these things. No other hero could allow Secret to do what they did last game.
Yeah, the creep just has extra armor and extra HP, so your diving towers, like, they don't even exist. And I don't, like you said, I don't think there's any other hero that enables that.
Yeah, no, this hero it's strong when played correctly. The thing is, I feel like you have to be an Enchantress man to play this hero, and Puppey, I think Puppey's the best Enchantress. Like, the jungle heroes, you know, the Puppey Chen, Puppey Enchantress, they're on the next level.
It's just that every creep you get decides what you're going to do with it. So you have to have, like, infinite permutations of what you're going to do, because whatever camp you go to, it's like one of the 5 big creeps.
And that plays into Team Secret's strengths, in my opinion, which is their communication. Puppey receives this information, and maybe he hears something like, oh, instead of taking a creep from this camp, I'm going to wait a bit and get it from another camp. And this will allow me, because Nisha's talking about, oh, if he doesn't get the next rune, his game is really bad. Okay, I'll play for my creep for that one.
How do you feel about this Lion pick? That's exactly what they had last game, and it doesn't do really much to the early aggression of Enchantress. I feel like they're kind of setting themselves up for a similar story.
So when I play Enchantress, I like playing its line. The thing about IG, which... Okay, so I like the line pick, I don't like the line pick. So if this was a pub, I wouldn't like Lion. But Kaka has played Lion, like, I think 9 times this tournament now, after last game. He's played Lion for 4 years, and IG, they thrived in the group stage because they played their own Dota. Like, I think the worst thing that can happen to a team is if you lose game 1, and you're like, guys, let's become a different team right now. We're gonna draft different, we're gonna play different. Like, Secret outplayed them last game, but I think this actually gives me confidence in this situation in particular. What are your thoughts on Lion?
I think it's a hero that he gives you a lot of things that you no longer need to worry about. There's also a lot of heroes that I don't want to pick into it just because of the immense amount of disable. But then he opens up basically the need to jump him with a hero like Storm Spirit, Void Spirit that have immediate stuns, immediate silences from long range. And if you get one of those coupled with early momentum, I think he looks like he did last game, because Lion's either... You can't scout them, you can't find them because they've got the vision and map control, or you just constantly have all your lanes shoved in, and then Lion is forced to reveal himself on, like, defensive towers, and he just doesn't look like the same hero.
I'm honestly really curious that they picked Lion there, because if you look at it from a first pick perspective, usually how it's gone this tournament, you first pick what you think is a broken hero. And on the 8th pick, where they pick Lion, you know, 2 bans, 2 picks, you pick the strongest counter pick to the 2 heroes that you see. Usually that's actually a core hero.
Yeah, I thought it was like a Luna or something.
Yeah, I mean, here, I don't know if there's some hidden synergy with the ET, you know, some, I don't know, spirit into finger. Maybe it's just like the vision and team fight, just, they're good. I mean, they're a good support duo together. It's just, I don't feel like it has a oomph you need for that pick on first pick. I mean, first pick right now, you get counterpicked on a lot of picks right now compared to second pick. I mean, they have the 4th and 5th counterpicks on you.
So now, what are these bans representing for IG? Because usually you'd protect this 4th pick, but you're not going to protect the Lion. So
why did it ban Morphling?
Yeah,
Brian?
when you have ET Lion, isn't that? I guess it's the Morph Shaker. They're just that terrified.
It has to just be Morph Shaker. Like, maybe they think even though they're countering Morphling, they'll take over the map too much with Enchantress, and you'll hit that timing with Shaker Morph. But I mean it feels wrong to me. Like, if you're going to dedicate this much to Lion, and they're going to pick something bad against Lion into it, like, I feel like you should just let them have it.
Yeah, you might as well just pick a support or a core that's weak versus Morphling.
Yeah.
Ban it. Yeah.
I mean, we don't have the same information that they have. Maybe this is something that they've played in scrims, but it just, like, I can't describe exactly why. It just feels off. Like, and that's how I feel usually in drafts. So they did go for the Ursa ban, which I think is for the Outer Titan. I think, I can't remember who played it, but it was at this tournament. I'm not making it up. It was an Ursa versus Outer Titan, and it looked very nice.
It might have been Secret themselves, actually.
Multiple teams have played it.
Yeah. Just versus Outer Titan?
It's just the enraged damage reduction. One of the few heroes that can run at you early enough that... The thing ET doesn't want is a core just running at him and not being afraid of just instantly dying.
Yeah, that's a good. Also, when he gets its eggs, like, usually in this tournament, I seen like ET versus I don't know, like Limp Sniper. I saw ET solo him 100-0. If you have an Ursa carry, he just waits for ET. It doesn't matter if magic him in. You just go on him, you bash him, you kill him.
Yeah. Now they ban out the Vengeful Spirit. So what is the purpose of this ban?
Probably a save from the Lion. A lot of times the best way to deal with heroes like Lion is just a simple Force Staff. Same with ET Stomp. They have pretty predictable
Like they're going to put one hero in front on the side of Secret against these type of heroes like Lion and ET, and since it's a very obvious time when you're going to use your spells. And when it's like ease of execution, you also just lost to it. Maybe you're going to pick another hero like Lina in the mid lane that's positional based. Venge, surprisingly, before TI, for people who haven't been like playing a lot of pubs, it was very popular. It's received several nerfs, but the Ags itself, when you're basically a reincarnation Wraith King from the off lane that purposely dies because you get all your spells again. So when you have Lion, you never really want to deal with a hero that you can't comfortably burst down.
Sure. They pick up the Wind Ranger and Secret themselves. We have seen it on Yabzor earlier this tournament. We did theorize it could have gone mid, but they ended up putting it as a 4. So this could move the Earthshaker to a 3. But
they just a little bit of flexibility, right? This is from first pick. IG now have sort of 2 counter picks ish. I mean, not really, but you do see 3 heroes. I think picking Wind Ranger, as you mentioned, like you don't quite know what Secret's doing. I do think this is most likely a Wind Ranger 4 and Earthshaker 3, but honestly, like it couldn't be anything. I want to add on one more thing about the Venge pick is that. When you play Enchantress as 5, because I played a lot of Enchantress, one of the things you want most is simple stuns. Venge is a hero that, you just have that simple stun. It's why, like, when you play Chen Enchantress, it's nice to have, like, a carry Sven. The other thing is, when you play Enchantress lineups, your teamfight damage is weird. Like, Enchantress, she does a lot of damage, but it's slow single target damage. Venge is actually a 3 that, if she has a good game, she provides more damage than you think, just because of minus armor and aura. Just, stun, you die, you stun again with eggs.
You're also going to get the long fight.
Yeah,
because if they try to go on your teammate, the Venge saves them. If they go on the Venge, you've got 2 lives. The duration of the fight, I think, will come into play pretty heavily here. IG can either choose to build like sustained damage, so once they burst one target, like they could have a Medusa type carry, or they can go all in on the first 5 seconds of the fight when they pick an off-lane team fight like Mars.
That does seem like what it is, though, right? Like if IG don't get a good arena spear finger, some ET spear on it, like I feel like Secret's lineup is set up to kite them. It doesn't mean that IG can't win the fights, it just means that a lot of this game from the first 6 picks looks like it's going to be around that initial initiation. And Spectre, I mean, you know Spectre better than me, Brian. What do you think about this pick here?
I considered Spectre in regards to the fact that it's good against the 3 heroes that Secret has, like individually in team fights later on in the game. But laning stage wise, I'm imagining it's going to be a core shaker since they picked a melee carry, and Spectre one of the weakest melee carries early, and then potentially just a 4 Wind Ranger, which Spectre's good against Wind Ranger because her Desolate procs can't miss, and oftentimes Wind Ranger, when she focus fires you, will just kill herself. But if it's a support, that's not really that big of a deal. So I'm worried about her laning stage. She's got a pretty weak 5 if it is the Lion, like if they decide to rotate there. But if they do the ET, Wind Ranger as a 4 is pretty good against ET because she can't attack when she's Wind Run. So this is a hero that I was talking about leading up to the TI so much. I didn't see it. I got really sad. He had a pretty poor win rate in the group stage, but we talked about the magic immunity against ET. You have full armor because the aura doesn't go through you, and Spectre Dispersion also doesn't do any damage to magic immune targets. So looking like a pretty free lifestealer game for Matoma Man if he just gets like 1 or 2 items. They're going to need a hero IG in the mid lane that does that threatens physical damage, single target, like something like a Razor. Necrophos would have been okay, not because he's physical damage, but because Lifestealer does play around using most of his hero or health pool and then infesting a target. But this last hero for IG, it's going to get lane countered, and it has to deal with Lifestealer. So
yeah, I agree. I feel like there's a lot of conditions needed to be met for IG's last pick. And Lifestealer, honestly, I thought they were going to pick Sven there, but not to Lifestealer. Like that's a classic, Even on Team Secret, I think your signature heroes do come out. And yeah, I'm trying to think as well, like just what do you need from IG's side? I feel like they sort of need a bit of damage, like sustained damage right now, right? Because they have a lot of bursts. Even the Spectre, I would say, going to eggs build. You're building eggs because you want to burst, double dagger, 15 talent, some 700 nuke damage, Mars Arena Finger. They're all like, you see a target, you burst them. And I want them, I'm trying to think of, I mean, like in my head, it's just a spirit hero, but
I feel like the game plan that's going to happen here is that Team Secret, what Lifestealer does as a carry is he has innate
harass with Feast as well as his Ghoul Frenzy, which gives him a lot of attack speed and bonus damage, but it's also sustained. So when he gets like level 5, level 6, he's a carry that doesn't need any help. He's not afraid of dying to a combo like Lion Mars until Lion gets level 6, which is 10, 12 minutes into the game. So what they can do is the Enchantress can support Lifestealer for what, 3-4 minutes, and then just leave. And they can do the Venge treatment that Zai got last game, but instead it's just going to be Matama Man playing on his own. And they do go for the Kunkka.
And that's because Team Sierra, they banned out all the Spirit Heroes. Like, I feel like this was a plan in the making, even from the second phase ban. Well, isn't Kunkka not good for Lifestealer?
It's not.
Like, I feel like nothing touches Lifestealer in this lineup right
They're
now.
banking on killing everyone else first. That's the only other way to deal with Lifestealer.
I know I played Lifestealer and I play versus these lions and they hide in trees behind me, and they hex into some sneaky kill, but it's not reliable. Like when you play versus Lifestealer, you want something that makes this hero feel scared to be on the map. He can't just like control your safe lane. You're just like looking at him with 3 heroes and there's one Lifestealer hero hitting your creeps.
Can you potentially kite him in this lineup? Because they're also really tanky. You can't fight him at all. And you even get a TA now, which is actually a great matchup against Kunkka, and a great synergy with Lifestealer. Dual core lineup.
Lifestealer is like a semi-carry in regards to the fact that he doesn't need assistance early. He doesn't need to be babysat, doesn't need to be warded for, protected, so they can give all their resources to enabling Zai's aggression against the Spectre and Nisha's triangle to farm. I'm feeling like Secret's going to set a similar pace, and I don't know if IG has the tools to deal with it.
Yeah, honestly, I'm a bit worried about Emo's Kunkka mid. I saw this matchup at the Animajor. I know there's been some TA nerfs, but TAs would just take Meld and -5 armor against Kunkka's. I think it's 2, maybe 3 armor. Like, it's not an easy matchup. Kunkka used to counter TA really hard before, but it's not the same anymore, I feel like.
Well, we're going to have to hear from our expert here, though, as we go now to Jenkins with his last word.
Thank you so much for that, Jenkins. My goodness, I don't know what to say to that. I don't know what was on his hands and his face and his belt. What happened over there?
Something happened in the last hour. He's just really excited about the game, just like us. It's going to be a really good match and maybe a better one for IG.
How do you feel about this Kunkka, though? Because everyone has a bit of a differing opinion, not super keen on the idea, but it is good team fight, right? It's good positioning.
It is. It has great lockdown and control. It like sets up that kill for you. It's going to be great against Wind Ranger support typically to lock her down and guarantee her death. It's going to be good against Earthshaker, good against Enchantress, but really bad against Lifestealer typically. And you might not always have the opportunity to kill TA either, especially once BKB timings come out. So if you can have a good laning stage, maybe get an early kill, maybe transition well, yeah, it can look really effective. And they could do something good with it, but we might not see the same thing that we saw from Team Spirit when they played earlier today.
Now, one of the big things they always say in traditional sports is never give them a run back, and they allowed Secret to get the Enchantress again. It seemed like the panel felt very strongly about this pick, that it really helped solidify the lane.
It is really good, but we got to remember what happened in the last game. He got a super early first blood on Kaka because he approached the lane in a cool way with the creep, and they stunned with Matama Man. You don't get a lot of first bloods like that right off the bat, and that's like the make or break thing for Enchantress. It's like if you can get those kills, those high-skilled mobility movements that score you lane kills that you're not supposed to get, then she does feel like the best laning support. But if you miss them, she's going to feel weaker, and her impact in the mid game is going to be a lot worse.
So is this a lot of pressure just being placed on Puppey himself to make sure he lands these particular stuns, slows, whatever, or is a lot of it have to do with the fact that IG is going to have to really step up and mess with them?
Yeah, I think there is some pressure on him, but as long as he doesn't die and he puts lane pressure, like harassing, that already does a lot. But I would say the game we saw last match with Enchantress,
Yesterday,
that's your best case Enchantress laning stage pretty much. So I'd be surprised if we see another one.
All right. See the nice block over here in the mid lane. It's going to be Nisha versus Emo. Nisha really popped off last time. How likely is it that we're going to see something very similar again?
Well, they do have sort of squishy supports once again. The Lion as well as the Elder Titan. They're going to have to be a bit careful here, as he does get his Blink Dagger and his basically once he starts getting aggressive on the map. So that's a scary thing for sure. A lot of battling over camp stuff here. Kaka just trying to lower Puppy's HP so he can block the camp from spawning. He's already got the large camp block. Now just trying to run circles. Because he knows he's not going to trade as well as
Puppy just dodging in and out of the tree line. This is some next level peekaboo going on.
Kaka blocked it, so he accomplished his goal, but now he's got to get out. And this part
I don't know.
tough.
How does he get out?
Yeah. This is a nice advantage.
Oh, all right. 60-something hit points. Pops a salve. Easy peasy.
This is a cool movement or change for Enchantress. Rather than going for enchant level 1, he's like, you know what? I'm going to change it up. I'm just going to get heal, and now there's absolutely no way you can out-trade me. That's one of the weaknesses for Lion. He's not the best trading hero. He's going to get speared to a wall. He's got heal, though. We'll see if he lives. It's going to be close.
Oh, he's trying to heal up. Is it going to be enough, though, Purge? That's the question. Is he going to make you look like a fool?
He had enough. The tango usage and the ulti pop. So the only downside, though, heals a lot of mana, and he is out now. So it's going to be a little harder for him to fight, but he's got items coming.
Top lane, a lot of harass being put back and forth, especially with the Yapser just plinking away. You know, the Wind Ranger got picked up, and I swear to God, I heard a creature just scream somewhere in the arena.
I heard it too. I didn't hear it, but I could feel my bones shivering. So I just knew something weird was going on in the stadium. I'm not sure what it was, but you know, honestly, in the drafting stage, I agree with some of the weird things, some of the questions about Wind Ranger. But Wind Ranger 4 against a double melee lineup, that looks great for me. So Ollie's not going to be able to abuse Astral Spirit and his high damage right click because he can just cast Wind Run and walk away. So it's going to make it pretty easy for a Wind Ranger to just put a massive arrows into Spectre.
This has got to be very annoying for Fly. Ollie doing the best he can, trying to pull the waves, trying to just make some more breathing room for the Spectre.
It's going okay. On the other side of the map, JT Mars, he's the last hit leader at the moment. He had a great game last game. I think he did a lot of the good things he needed to do to be successful, but one of the scary things about the IG lineup, again, is they're very burst heavy, and while Lifestealer's very difficult for them to chain lockdown and kill if he's able to cast Rage in time, his ulti is also a counter to burst damage, because it's not just going to be him defending himself, he can also pump a lot of HP into whoever on Secret gets gone on, so Lifestealer is kind of like doubly effective this game. I think it was a great pick.
Already starting to see Nisha's farm start to get a little bit higher, has been stacking the camp off to the side each time. Have we seen any stacks moving around here? Oh, hold that thought. Puppy bottom lane. Getting these sprites, just keeping them alive. Kaka has to be careful. They'll get the spike off. They finally hit Puppy, but they'll follow up with a kill on Kaka.
Very close. Matu almost gets the kill first, going a little better for JT, and that's a great hero to start off with. Ooh, he's going the Meteor Hammer Mars build. That's going to be fun. We've seen this in some games, and I think this is one of the coolest things about Mars right now. His early item builds are super variable depending on the game, and what this one provides is better burst damage. It allows him to get solo kills, whereas normally he can solo kill like some squishy supports, but now he's going to be able to kill these like medium HP heroes as well. So he's going to be able to ulti, spear somebody to wall, drop the hammer on him, and so for a hero like Enchantress, she's got to be worried about this. If JT hits a good timing on this Meteor Hammer, she just can't really play that close to him anymore.
Your Admiral is on board.
You can see the movement coming out, just making sure that they can grab those water runes for their mid laners. Evenly spread out. So trying to find the perfect position. Gonna keep getting clicked here. Ollie. It's gonna be fine. Does have some wards on him, and that's another thing too, just discussing vision. I felt like in the first game, Secret really just took away a lot of the map and was able to put down great vision the entire time. The second that they showed up, Zai was there. Hold that thought though, Ollie. Nah, he's fine.
They could have maybe got him a little lower, but not worth the mana to throw the shackle there. They're just going to keep his HP a bit low until he pops his salve here. Cost him some money on his goal to Do well as a support. And possible rotations. Yapster just going to follow Ollie as well. Don't let him stack. Don't let him get stuff done mid. He even puts a ward down to spot where Ollie's ultimately going. They could use this opportunity to swing back top and pressure Fly some more, but for now, want to make sure they can cover the TA in the mid lane. Again, that's the hero they want to keep ahead. She's doing great. And now that Kunkka's 6, this is a timing where it makes a lot of sense for IG supports to rotate mid.
See everyone moving. Trying to protect the TA, trying to make something happen. Kaka got held there. Creep, they're getting some body blocks. That's a decent amount of damage. It goes to the stun. Back up over on the side though. X marks the spot into the torn, into the boat. Plus the sleep over onto Nisha. He's got to get out of there. Pops the fairy fire. Can he get out fast enough? Emo's trying to be cheeky, throwing back that high five that Nisha has been throwing at him all game number 1. But not quite enough damage. Kaka. Ooh, he's taking it out.
Well, you're fine, man, but he wanted to go back to the base. I get it. He's worried about something getting him. That was pretty funny. Power shot that hits, that's a kill. Didn't get it, though. So pretty even game. That was cool to see both teams get ready for either of them doing a rotation. They ended up initiating great on Kaka, but not enough damage, and then they barely keep Nisha alive. That was fun. In the meantime, Puppey jungling aggressively, going to block Ancient Camps to limit some of those stacks. Once again, using Enchantress as a way to offset that stack advantage that they might have had from earlier on. But now Nisha might be the one getting the same pressure on the other side of the map.
Ollie taking a couple hits from Nisha. Will land the Echo Stomp. Kaka for the opening. Lands Spike over on the side. Power shot comes to Ollie. He needs to be careful. He's going too far. Hex comes out. We'll keep him alive. That was almost very costly.
Yeah, Yapster was the clinch moment there. He was able to stun Emo from approaching there. Now he's the one in trouble.
Yapster might be taking this gank here. So they've been a gank. Stomp, sleep, and there's the kill.
Did make them spend a lot of resources though, so it's not the worst. Look at these double wards actually placed. This is a small mistake. Maybe on the IG side because they basically covered 2 of the same spots at pretty much the same moment, but on the bright side, lower chance they both get dewarded, so they're going to have great control over the tri-camp area if TA tries to farm there.
Both the cores over on the side of Secret and on IG, about even in terms of their CS currently. Does feel like we have, there's a nice shackle with power shot. Kaka walks into some friends, or maybe not they're necessarily friends.
It's a lot of damage, actually. He had that enchant totem ready to go, so great pickup. Now Fly being the one pressured top. No Echo Slam, so probably not a kill here, but we'll see.
The shackle, not quite.
Okay, if that's Echo, that's very likely a kill here. 3 points in power shot is going to be huge damage output right now for Wind Ranger. So even though he probably won't have a focus fire, they're in a good spot in terms of their scalability, and Zai can keep pressuring Fly. Anytime he comes forward, enchant totem, AoE damage, follow up. Fly's low. He wants to go for the kill, but he's gonna run a Fly back and forth, and he's got to worry. If there's just a power shot here, he's gonna die to the combo.
Meanwhile, I haven't seen much of Matumba Man here. Just kind of a gentleman's agreement between him and JT. We're going to hit creeps. We're going to, harass a little bit. But JT, important to note, has that Meteor Hammer online.
Yeah, but the downside is that his ability to spear into hammer it's not going to happen, basically. The spear stun duration 2.8, you need at least 3 seconds of stun to chain stun them. So that means that Matumba Man's always going to be able to get rage off if he goes for this kill. So as long as Matumba doesn't have to worry about Lion Hex for chain stun, then there's no way he dies. They can both farm pretty equally, and this is fine for Secret as long as they're getting other stuff done on the map. But at some point, they will need to start crushing and getting kills.
I like how you mentioned that. You can see that Lion was already making the rotation down to the bottom area. Of course, Puppey's creep spots him and pushes him back, but nothing like just getting whacked by the servant of an enchantress.
Yeah, this is really annoying to deal with. Any summon hero like this, you just run him at supports. He can't deal with this too well. Tranquil Boots is going to offset the regen, but in 13 seconds and then time after that. So it just slows down all the pressure while Puppey gets a little bit of levels. And he's the perfect hero to sit down here.
Oh, the top lane, the Jackal connects, power shot, gentle. They're going to immediately teleport people up, though. And to try to protect Fly's eye. Perhaps he's going too far. He's turning back around and thinking maybe he wants to go back in. Goes to the Echo Slam. He's got himself a life stealer inside of him. Pop right back out again. Ollie running away. Fly now sitting so very low. The Jackal, it connects. Can they finish managed anything, though, is the question. Is Secret, they're putting down the pressure, but they haven't quite managed to win this war just yet. JT getting into position, the Torrent catching over onto Matamba. Emo trying to get some of that clean damage off JT. Han comes out, Fly, they want Matamba Man, they get the Hex. They're gonna just fall off with the stun, with the arena. And that's a dead Matamba Man.
That was a long chase to get that kill, but they finally snag it. Only a 1k advantage, and TA's been hitting creeps the whole time. But I think the nice thing for Secret in that is that they got JT to TP to the top lane, and that fight ended up finishing about by the tier 1, which is kind of the direction he's going anyway, so it's not the worst for him. But Secret really made them work for that fight, and they did a great job covering each other as they were escaping. And that's going to mean that that gold advantage that they just got from killing Lifestealer is not going to feel nearly as strong. But ultimately, Secret's damage is just not quite high enough yet. It looked okay. They almost killed Spectre, but until Lifestealer gets his first item, his damage just doesn't feel that big.
Pressure being placed on the bottom tower with the Meteor Hammer, like you said. Need a little bit more disable in order to take them out too. But those towers are free game.
Yeah, and that's the other nice thing that Meteor Hammer provides to you. On the bright side, if they can keep drawing JT around the map to teamfight, he's not going to be able to take these towers super easily, but in the same moment, Lifestealer's top, slapping his own tier 1, so these should fall about the same time. So I'd say the game looks pretty even right now in terms of raw net worth. They haven't really let Kunkka get that much advantage. He's gotten 1 kill, 1 assist, so Emo is top net worth. He's happy. Also got an armlet, by the way. They're all going to have tons of armor and HP and strength. It's just like the item of the patch right now, or at least this tournament. And I think a lot of it comes down to like ET, maybe trending it a little bit. This super high armor, lots of HP, fighting early. It's a perfect item for that. So maybe part of the reason it's so popular.
I mean, this is just a patch in general where I think we're just seeing way more skirmishing way early. It's not one of those patches where people are sitting back and farming. And if you do, it's usually just the one. So perhaps that's it. But also, when you consider the way that both of these teams play, right? This is definitely a lineup where you're going to see, you know, a lot of action fairly early.
Yeah, and they're going to notice the camp being blocked now. Let's see if they end up getting the sentry, or sorry, cliff ward as well. Oh, they're actually not. I don't know if they would have checked the cliff anyways, but it's okay. Main goal was to deward the Ancients, and that's going to be accomplished here, so it'll be easier for TA to accelerate. But there's some pretty good separation between the Kunkka and the enemy team right now. He's pressuring. JT going to hammer cheese this one out as well.
Throughout the fort.
That was helpful. Yeah, it saves hundreds of HP on the tower. It's going to delay this by a lot. The hammer cooldown is pretty long, 24 seconds. And they're smoking on the Secret side, looking for a possible setup here.
Also going to teleport Matamba Man in. Just to see if he's going to hitch a ride. It's not.
That was cool. IG reads that one really good. On the bright side for Secret, though, they still didn't reveal their smokes. They don't know for sure that they were playing there. And now IG smoking towards bottom. Likely looking for TA, Earthshaker, something like that if they can.
There's no one home, though. They've all moved over to that mid tower. They've read this quite clearly on the side of Secret.
Double damage.
And
wandering around the pit. Oh my word! How many double damage runes has Nisha had today?
In his defense, he saved this one. It's maybe part of the reason they wanted to fight. Grabbed the DD, bottled it. They would have used in that previous fight against the Scout, but it's going to be late, I think.
JT shackled to the tree. This is not looking good. The stop, though, coming up. Pop out again. Are they going to be able to blow out? There's the Echo Slam. They get the kill on JT. Secret going right in the Haunt for the 5 line. He wants to get in. They have the finger. Can they finish him off? Can they kill the top of it? They will. And they get the Aegis of the Immortal over onto Fly. Nisha, he does so much damage, but he's going to be denied immortality this time around. Zai trying to get them off of that spirit. And they'll go right in again. Emo, that's a big melt strike. Kaka went down. It's going to be Nisha who falls. As IG striking back hard. Fly-Fi, though. There's a trap. There's a stun. There's plenty of damage. This spooky ghost will get taken down the first time. JT joining back. Oh, Zai, though, with the quick fingers. He doesn't care about your arena.
I mean, they got the Aegis stolen from them, but that was pretty good considering Dire also got the last hit, and it looked pretty solid for Secret. It looked like they were going to be able to finish it. They shackled JT. They killed him without him casting a single spell. That was the biggest accomplishment for them. But the downside was that Nisha started getting really scared that IG was going to haunt in and take the Aegis. So rather than finishing Roche, she just started hitting the Spectre illusion, and at that point, things got a little bit hairy. Matamba Man also ran out of the pit, infested there on Zai, so that he he could jump in to get some damage output. So then when he ends up running towards the Roche pit in trouble after using Enrage there, he's not able to infest an ally. He ends up getting gone on. Niche is trying to buy some time so he doesn't get hit by the boat, and that just opened up IG a great opportunity to take this. But with that said, they cleaned up those supports very effectively. That Lion kill right there was huge. Otherwise, he repositions, he lands more disables. Instead, Secret's able to eke out a bunch of kills and actually make that feel about even. So not terrible for them, but I'm sure they would have preferred to have the Aegis for free. Picking up Fly as well at the end was really important. So IG's happy, but if we look at the scoreboard and the gold difference, it's still pretty even.
Still anyone's game, just a plenty of excitement though, which is what I like out of my Dota games.
Me too. So now they're pressuring the mid-tier 1. Puppy gonna take some creeps as well. A little torrent here. This is dangerous for Enchant.
Just poking the bob of the boat. Do they have enough? The Shackle was in a good position. Oh, the Fissure though on the side, interrupting. Falling back again. Tumbler Toy going to be able to allow JT to pre-position.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
I like how
attack.
Puppy plays Enchantress typically. He goes for that front line, I'm a healer type hero. That's what he wants to do in this game. Just be the one that his opponents go on, and maybe they ulti combo him, maybe they throw the boat on him like that. As long as he gets his heal off, likely going to survive, and that was the case there, easily.
Emo having to use that X marks the spot, but there's just a creep hitting their tower here. Hello.
And Solar Crested, so and plus
Ollie's
70
like,
damage.
What is this nonsense? Get out of here.
That was actually a lot of damage.
Yes,
That was pretty
it was.
impressive.
It was.
All right, now he's
We're
got
setting another one.
time for some shards. Here they come.
All right, here we go. I'm gonna cut that wave. Send the big old boy over here.
Dude,
Oh
this is...
my gosh. Look at that. He's dead.
Oh my God, he did it.
Puppy.
Throws the stun out so his opponent
And
can't.
the bottom lane, though, they find a kill on Zai.
All right, they get something out of the map. That's good. 25 seconds, though, before Earthshaker comes back, and he's still going to have his spells, so not a bad loss there for Secret, considering their tower is still 3/4 full, and now they're taking away map control from IG. Once you lose that mid-tier 1, it's harder to control Roche. It's going to be harder for them to TP and back up their allies. It means pushing out the mid-creep wave feels more dangerous, and that's all dangerous stuff for IG, as Secret keeps getting farther and farther. Well, they're not that far ahead, but still, Desto and Blink on TA is a scary thing for these supports at the least. Ganking Lifestealer is really hard. So the fights, while their team fight's very good, IG's got to be a bit worried about pickoffs for a while here.
Which is funny, because that's usually how they like to fight over on the side of IG. They don't want to get jumped. And as I say that, they found themselves Kaka. Stomp, though. Buys a bit more time. Can hear a Shackle on the back lines. Ollie is going to be the sacrificial lamb. And that's the Blink Dagger picked up for Lion this time. So already this game shaping up a bit differently here for IG.
I do like how Secret approached that, though. They're ready to take the fight. They run Enchantress way in the front, pops the heal, and then IG expects like a full committal, so they pop Haunt there. But the reality was like the Haunt just ends up being kind of wasted. So they still get their pick-off kill. Their heroes are pretty happy. Everything's going fine. Now Secret finally getting a gold advantage. TA surprisingly just going even with Kunkka at this point in the game, because Emo's been farming so fast. And it's a beautiful Heaven's Halberd game. That was his item choice. Amazing item against the TA. Pretty good against Lifestealer as well if you can cast it at the right time. And their team fight's only going to get better. I assume he's going to go for the old water park build with Ags and Shard.
I do love a good water
We'll
thunder. Yapsor throws out the Shackle, just warding off.
That was good. He did
Zai
that.
nearby.
He would have gone next otherwise, and his chances of surviving that combo were low. So slow down the rotation. There's also an Ags up on Spectre, though, so he's ready to also join these fights. This is where things get scary. JT actually going to go TP. Looks like they want to fight somewhere else. Killing Puppy seemed a little too hard for him. And even though he's got that Meteor Hammer build, we just haven't really seen it used outside of killing buildings so far.
Ooh, an Infest Bomb popping now. They're going to try to lock him into place, and they'll get the kill on Fly. Smoke over on the side of IG. They were hoping to make something happen. Like you said, they had that Aghanim Scepter completed. But jump forward, JT is over to the wall. They get the stun. The sleep, the boat's coming out. The Earth Splitter is wildly turning. They hit 3. Over to the side, the Echo Stuff coming up from Zai, but it's already too late for Puppy. Somehow Nisha's still alive. Ollie, though, is in a world of hurt, as JT is forced to throw the spear out against the tree, and IG will back.
Put a lot of resources into that. And most importantly, what it was is that Refraction was pretty much almost off cooldown by the time they won on him. So they got Nisha low. He pops the Essence Ring. He knows he's the guy to kill in these fights. Between Essence Ring and the new Refraction charge, after that boat hits, he's able to reset and his team backs him up. So they get a lot out of that. A lot of big spells were used on the IG side. They'd killed Spectre earlier, and they pick off the Elder Titan, all exchanged for an Enchantress. Not a huge loss here. And Enchantress is only going to get harder to kill. He hasn't bought Locket yet. He's got a Solar Crest. He just picked up Untouchable at level 9 because he just knew it wasn't that important earlier. So he's just going to be even harder to kill when he frontlines.
Net worth still fairly even between the two mid players here. 11k on Kunkka, 10k over on this Templar Assassin, and they're making moves on the side of IG. Got JT going to be making his way over, letting Kaka lead. They know that Nisha probably is in this area. Kaka not going to go quick enough. It's going to disrupt the vision. No follow up with the Hex. They have the Shadow Step. Fly joining on, and Torrent comes out. Can they finish him off the sleeve? Nah, Nisha goes down.
It's a great catch.
They're looking for someone else. They found themselves a Puppy. Come back, Puppy, says Fly. We're not done just yet.
And there's the negative. If they can catch your heroes one by one and separate you, that's where IG can run you down so easily. Especially with the Ags on Spectre. You can haunt one fight, use Shadow Step for the other one. The dagger is such a good vision tool. You can just stay on top of the TA and get JT to follow up. These blink daggers are really powerful for IG right now.
JT on the hunt. Tumbaman though. Finish up the Silver Edge. Nice. Right outside. They go for the Shadow Step, though. They want to get rid of this Earthshaker. Follow up the Meteor Hammer. Not going to be able to quite connect as they do clean up over onto Ollie. Zai does eventually fall. Got the Gale going. Kaka. Oh, the Shackle. Oh, Kaka's dead. And it's looking like we should probably be able to see the escape, but...
Run out of stuns there. Earthshaker is like 85% of their stuns. He dies on the top set there. I like how Matumba did that. He goes for the Silver Edge after the armlet. He's just running around looking for these easy support kills. If he catches either Lion or the Elder Titan, it's a pretty easy kill if he starts on melee range. And that's what the case was there. Just a bit unfortunate they didn't have another disable to stop or kill Kunkka. That would have been a great pickup.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Well, I'm sure Emo is feeling very lucky and very happy that they weren't able to get their hands on him.
Yeah, he's pretty survivable now. Picks up a plate mail, so not going to go the water park build, unfortunately. All about keeping his hero survivable. And there's a lot of physical damage that's perfect for him.
Some pressure placed on Emo. They send the Hellbear Smasher after him.
Step lively.
He's just going to back up, rejoin with the team. I wouldn't be surprised to see... Yeah, I was about to say, I bet we're going to see another smoke.
Saw the Gale Force for the first time in that last fight. It was pretty fun. And it's so good when your opponents are trying to retreat, typically, because it just gives you, it basically like stuns them for a second or two if you can Gale in the correct direction. Lands those easy, it gives you those easy shackle shots. And now Puppy and Secret going to do the same thing. IG's position, they know Roche is up soon. There's going to be the Shard one.
There is a BKB completed.
Ooh, this could be Matumba Man in trouble top.
Tumba Man, he's baiting in. Follow it up, but no way. Gale Force coming in hot. This is looking bad for all. He's going to get power shot in. JT too, he just gets obliterated as a follow-up. Emo, he's tanky. We talked about this. He's going to just try to crawl away, but there's so many people holding him in the place. Kaka does fall outside the screen. He's forced to just teleport out. Oh, he can't. He's going to be stuck here. They're on the high five. Come on, give us the high five. Let's go, Emo. You're going all the way back to your base in a body bag.
I'm surprised that fight was so one-sided, but it started off well. Mars dropped his ulti. That was, I guess, the most obvious part. He almost catches Lifestealer, but he gave him just a little bit too much time. He's able to infest the Earthshaker and get out of danger, even though Enrage was gone. And once that was wasted and they whiffed their initiation, the rest of the fight was going to be really hard.
There it is. There's the first Roche of the game going over to Nisha.
And that's going to give net worth separation. 1,400 free gold for TA for the silence traps. That's going to be really dangerous for Lion. If he ever plays in the area of TA and he walks over a trap, he's just dead. He's going to get silenced and TA is going to 3-shot him. No difficulty until he gets the Ghost Scepter.
Perch, I'm pretty sure it's already scary to be a Lion in this game.
It really is. But for these top pro players, they're going to be quick to react most of the time. Matumba Man gets spotted here from the sentry. Ollie's running for the hills. Maybe they can turn this around to get a kill, though.
They have to be very careful in the way that they position. Look at this, the way that Secret, they immediately sweep to the side. IG lurking over in the shadows, looking for the perfect initiation. Zai, though, he's going to get initiated upon. There's no JT. With that Infest Bomb, the Gale Force. Oh, the Shackle. He's just dragging the Sea Captain back. Mars, he's going to buy back all of the Earth Spy to go with the follow-up with the Arena. They're doing so much damage, they're going to be able to take down Matu. Kaka now running for it, like Nisha's just got too much damage. They'll buy back, they're coming out. The Echo from Zai buys us just enough time, but then they turn it around again. Puppy just getting cut by the rest of the side of IG. They strike back furiously.
That was pretty solid for IG for what they wanted, but it did cost them 2 buybacks, one on Mars and one on Kaka, but hey, they were able to kill Matumba Man. He committed Infest earlier just to initiate so he could jump in with the Earthshaker, and at this point in the game, I'm beginning to doubt that a little bit in terms of effectiveness. I mean, he's already got a Silver Edge. Obviously, they're playing with Sentry Wards a lot, but I can't help but think I would prefer he initiates that way instead. Let's take a look at the start of the fight. Nisha gets X'd, they kill JT instantly, and at this point when things look bad, JT buys back because they can put a lot of pressure into Kunkka, but he's really hard to kill. And when they get that sleep setup and that spear onto Matumba Man, he is super dead. Kaka gets cleaned up on the back line, ET gets pressured, but Zai gets X comboed. He gets pulled back into this. The Meteor Hammer lands on 2, which was amazing, great comboing there. But 2 buybacks is going to make the fight a little closer to even.
Emo in the mid lane. Nisha wanders by. A little bit of a Gale Force wind. He's a Sea Captain. He can deal with that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. He's used to the powerful winds. But you just can't pressure this guy. He is so tanky. He's got almost 40 armor on a strength hero. He's got to be like the guy you ignore, I can't help but think. But that's the tough thing. Usually the mid players are a little squishier, these spirit type heroes, but these strength tanky ones are a little bit different. The real goals on Secret, you got to kill JT. I think he's by far the best disable on the IG side. And obviously the supports as well are great pickoffs. So once you get those guys dealt with, the supports and ideally JT, the other 2 are easy to work down if you have a hero advantage.
Look at the dedication that IG is putting on the map to make sure that they're rid of just any vision, like those TA traps. They're just playing Minesweeper at this point, and also just trying to protect themselves from this Lifestealer. Right on top of a trap here.
That's some good info, but JT is not necessarily the guy they want right away. The silence there ends up stopping Kunkka's X combo. But here they go.
The back line, the Echo Flip comes out. Ollie! He just immediately then followed with the Arena. The Gale Force blowing everybody away, though. Kaka tries to run out. They'll be able to get the kill over on Zai, but he's already done what he needs to get done. Yapzor X'd back. Emo, he's a tanky person. Looking for the stop. Fly. He's going to try to create some kills. He's trying to just get away as fast as he can, but Kaka not going to be as lucky. They'll turn around again. Yapzor falling. They're going right after Matu. Matu's not looking too great. Is he going to be able to hide? They have so much vision everywhere. That was the problem. Looks like he is going to survive.
He is so fast there when he rages. So they sort of win another team fight. 6k gold for them, and the TA's Aegis is just not something that IG ever wanted to put effort into. And it's kind of interesting, but hey, it's allowing Nisha to basically do what he wants in the fights, hit those supports, prevent Kaka from getting a Ghost Scepter. Because if he had this in the last 2 fights, the fights do not go well for Secret. So the fact that they're continuing to keep him down is a big advantage.
Nice neutral items dropping here as well. Did you know, I believe this is the first TI that we have neutral items.
Really? That's interesting. Because we've seen a couple phases of neutral items so far.
We have.
All right, still playing the map aggressively. Matumba Man is looking for these easy ones. Gonna hit on the creep wave. JT could go on him, but it's still really hard.
Look who's lurking nearby.
Oh, is he gonna hit him with the hammer?
Nice.
He gets him.
Does manage land. Little cheeky move. Just teleport on out. Just saying hello.
If he had one other support there, that they can actually get a kill with that. That would have been really cool. Either way, what better BM than landing a Meteor Hammer on an enemy hero when they don't know you're there? That was pretty cool.
Surprised we didn't see the high 5 coming out.
That's really dangerous. A great way to reveal exactly where you're standing. There's times for it. That was not one of them.
Important to note, another big item coming out for the side of Secret. We have the BKB picked up now for the Earthshaker.
Yeah, that one's big. I love always using Fey Grenade. It's one of the best items for Earthshaker neutral. You just use Enchant Totem, you throw the Fey Grenade out, so you get basically 2 Enchant Totems. The first one, the Fey Grenade one, doesn't count. It's a huge amount of damage, especially against the supports.
Middle tower is under
That's
attack.
very spooky for IG. But now that he has the BKB, he can continue being as aggressive as he wants, but he's going to be able to retreat afterwards. Run out of any X worries, or the Mars ulti, or the Stomp. Zai's going to get multiple rounds of spells this fight, almost for sure.
Look at this, though. Look at the win probability. It is still anyone's game, even though there's a 6K net worth lead going over to the side of Secret. And the later that this game goes, the scarier it's going to become for Team Secret.
Yeah, that's true. Spectre as a late game carry is just so strong, because any damage you take is going to get reflected in almost all circumstances. And now it's time for the Ags on Kunkka. It's going to be great against the Wind Ranger, the Enchantress.
Your admiral is on board.
Once again, he puts a little pressure on YapzOr top, just popping the reality. Or the Shadow Step for that one.
Blessings.
You can feel the way that IG are just holding together very tightly. They know that their Spectre can join them in any sort of fight that breaks out. So,
Man, Poppy's quite far in this game. This is one of those matches where he's just hitting creeps constantly. He bought the Shard. He's got Holy Locket. He's constantly going to have some spirits flying around him. He got the heal talent. His whole goal is stay alive in the fights. And it's looking pretty viable right now, honestly. They don't have the best ways to just kill him right off the bat. So as long as he gets his heal off, he should be able to keep his lifesteal and others alive. But the gold advantage is still pretty flat. Secret just going to be looking for an opportunity, maybe a pick-off. But they've got Roche control. That's the big thing. And it's coming up kind of soon.
Radiant's bottom tower.
they
is
have the
under
Roche
attack.
control, but they also just picked up some more items over on the side of IG here. We now have the Aghanim Scepter completed. We're going to have the Torrent Storm, the Water Bending, and it's going to be a bit more dangerous for them to fight around the pit if they get the initiation off in time. Granted, they do have BKB. The jump forward, though. They found themselves a Nisha. With the Torrent, going to put them over. They use the finger, and they have the damage to take them down. And this is looking like a dead puppy, too. This leaf comes out. All the water world. Again, the high five being thrown into the air.
Very close. The Fissure might have bought him some time there to survive. He could have gotten the BKB off potentially and escaped on the TA, but unfortunately it was just a little bit off. Wasn't able to catch JT from throwing the spears, so 2 big pickoffs, and that's a big gap close in terms of net worth now. Those IG pickoffs everybody's been talking about paying off hugely there.
That's how they like to play it. They're allowed to play it, but this is not looking great here for Fly. That Gale Force Wind, he's trapped. Birds in the wind's not his friends.
And YapzOr paying off, right? He's been spending constant time top, pressuring with Power Shot from a safe distance, and he's still contributing with the Gale Force there, keeping them separated. So Matoma Man got an item coming out. It's going to be the Basher now. Going to make it even easier for him to kill those supports. Might be able to catch him before they go Scepter, for example. But for people with high net worth, it's all those cores, the carries and the mids, all sitting about equal. The game's still up for anybody. But that pickoff was huge. That's going to make it so IG can't take Roche right now.
Gotcha.
And they should probably take advantage of it because the Templar Assassin is about to respawn. They're going to try to play the vision game, though. They've got a gem online.
Dire's middle tower
Natu
is
walking
under
into the
attack.
pit, and they have to be careful. This Earth is Elder Titan. I said Earth or Elemental. Good lord.
He's an Earth dude. It's okay.
He's an Earth Elemental, isn't he?
Yes, he is. He created Earth.
Torrent landing on 2. They're going to try to finish it off quickly. They're
my God, it's
risky.
dying.
The tackle, the back. They just go. They get it. Gale Force Wind hitting on 4. It is so breezy today as they follow it with an arena. The Silence landing over on the 3's eye is just chasing them down one by one. The push over again. Follow up the boat. Pop B-side. Step easy peasy. Do manage to go. And they'll try to put out some more damage with that illusion with the Spectre chasing after Poppy, but it is too late.
I looked away for a second. All of a sudden, Roche was dead, but it kind of makes sense. Lifestealer does huge amount of damage. Tia has insane minus armor right now. But I think my favorite thing about that fight is after the Gale Force clumped up IG so much, Zai blinks to the high ground with the Fissure, and I was like, oh, he's running into Echo. He didn't actually have it, but I love that he moved in to make it seem like he was going to.
Purge, what's the weather like today?
It's cold, very windy. Been rained on many times today, and Kaka is not liking it. That's what I gotta say. But
No, indeed. It's a little too windy for the liking of IG.
this Ward's doing a great job spotting out Secret, making them feel scared going high ground, but not Puppy. Turns the heal on, he runs at his opponents. Go ahead, guys.
Look at all those sprites. Oh, my word.
I mean, his heal's incredible right now. I've done the math before on this Nature's Attendance skill, and it's insane how much heal it puts out. If it's not like 4 heroes hitting him, he's not dying.
I don't think 4 heroes want to hit him. I think they have much more important heroes to hit.
Mid-tier 2 just being pressured by Anisha alone with that Aegis. They did get an Egg Shard Blessing, by the way. That went on Lifestealer. It's going to be very helpful. You know, I used to be a hater of the Sags, but I played with it recently. It feels great because you've got a 20-second cooldown and being able to jump in an opponent. Normally it has to be an ally. Now it's like no whoever's killing you.
The initiation going, and immediately the echoes are coming up. Inside, but they all get hit with the torch. That's going to be the Aegis, just immediately gone. Zai is taken down. There's less control now. So that goes Scepter coming in. Puppy, is he going to be able to make it out? It's not looking great, but over onto the back lines. Nisha, he's been disarmed. He's got the BKB, and still he's just taken out.
Incredible team fight for IG.
Oh, they're not done. They want Matu. They get there fast enough, though, is the question. Do they have the lockdown? JT, he wants this kill, but rest a secret. Will retreat.
I'm sorry, they put the eggs on somebody else. Who's got it? I'm very confused. It must have been stolen. They must have gotten on the IG side.
No. It's on Zai.
Oh, it's on Zai. Oh, I'm sorry.
Zai.
My bad. That's the one here I didn't click on. He did have it queued up before. Probably just called for it. It's very good on Earthshaker too, but in that fight, IG got a great pick off. Speared them right to the tower, picks off Earthshaker, no BKB able to be activated there. And that's not how he wants to start the fight.
Is not indeed.
Toma's gonna have to farm his own dang items, unfortunately. He'll get there though. Wow, Spectre's really farmed though. Scotty Aggs, Manta, 4,000 gold in the bank. That's a good place to be, I gotta say. He's got 4,000 health at the moment. It's gonna take a long time to eat through that. But with that said, they do have Silver Edge, so they've got ways to make it easier.
The later this game goes, the nicer it looks for the side of Invictus Gaming.
Other than the 10k gold advantage, yes. I totally agree. It's scary. But they still have, like, their team fights are still a little hard to execute. Mars' abilities, excellent if you can land the spear, but it can be a little hard. Kunkka combos, until you get like a Hex or something, you're always going to have to play around your allies, basically. And against this many BKBs on the Secret side and a Lifestealer, it's going to be difficult to land those combos. So as long as Secret keeps out farming them on the map, it looks pretty good for him.
That Centaur with no respect here on emo. Get that out of here, he says.
No vision as they walk over traps.
Well, they had a gem, okay. But it got... there it is. They have it.
Mars is fine. He's got it. They'll clear up all these traps.
Take back their outpost.
Yeps are still doing the same thing, playing top lane, pushing it out. This is a good move because then him or somebody else can threaten the rack.
Pops the BKB to avoid the windy weather. Go for the shadow step. They'll throw up the arena. Yapsor, he's making them work for it. Making them burn some big spells. But he does fall.
Oh, Fly jumps bottom actually on
Sees
Nisha.
himself a Nisha. Nisha popping his own BKB. He says, I want to get the heck out of here.
Drops him. Please cancel your TP. Safe thing to do for Anisha there. Just pop that BKB and run. This is the nastiest thing about Scotty. It is an incredible slow against any ranged hero. So TA is super hard countered by it. Because anytime you hit him, whether you pop BKB or not, you're not running away. So he's kind of forced to BKB TP almost every time. Even though there wasn't quite somebody there in time to interrupt the stun, it was by far the safest thing to do.
Secret realizing that the side of IG in the bottom area will be able to reclaim yet again. It's all about trying to keep control of this map, right? Especially when you're Team Secret. The fact that they have a Spectre wants to be able to go hit these creeps, continue to farm, is so utterly important.
And that's the nice thing as well. They can just drag IG around the map ideally. And that's what they've been doing. They keep pushing top with Windranger. There's occasionally a gank bottom, but it wasn't just Spectre. Other heroes TP'd. And that just means Secret can now go hard on the top lane again. So they retake the Shrine. Puppy plays in the middle area. That way, if anybody gets gone on, it's him. He has lesser net worth, isn't as important, is harder to kill. So it just means IG has to spend a lot of time running back and forward. So as long as Secret doesn't overcommit to bad fights or engage in one of these poor engagements, then they should farm a little faster than their opponents. And that's why they've been able to stay even.
You have a smoke coming out from the side of IG.
Radiant are scanning.
They want to take advantage and try to gain some of their ground back because it's been very difficult. Puppy not necessarily the one that they want, but the rest of Secret playing very far back, baiting Puppy.
I love that he put his creep here. That way if the smoke breaks, he's going to see uphill. Make it a little safer for him to live.
No, it's going to bend off here. Go, follow up the shadow step. The Gale Force wind coming in, but they have the burst damage. Eye off to the back line, so with the Invest Bomb, we'll be able to clean up on Kaka. Air Splitter gets dropped. Secret backing off.
All right. Good disengage. A little bit of a trade there. I like how Puppy didn't even pop his heal. He knew he was super dead there. that was a little too much damage for him. But getting a little support pickup, that's the crucial disabler, the one that makes it by far easiest for IG to win a team fight. So taking him off the map is going to mean that Nisha and Matoma can farm more aggressively right now if they wish. And now it's basically nullifier territory for the Secret lineup. It's the item that's going to counter all of the Ghost Scepters or other evasive items that IG are using to be effective. Mars is going to miss having a Ghost Scepter, I gotta say. He does have BKB now, so he's got some solution, but...
Mars does have a Ghost Scepter.
No, I mean, but Nullifier is going to nullify.
Oh, right,
I didn't mean to say nullify it, but you know what I mean. Once he's got BKB, it's going to provide good protection from Nullifier, but if they can get pickoffs on like Lion at the start of every fight, that's going to be really good.
All right, well, take a look at that net worth between the cores here. It is just so neck and neck.
It is. It's a really close game. Roche could respawn in 20 seconds here.
It'll be very important that they're able to take out the Elder Titan before they get in. They just have so much AoE team fight on the side of IG. It's very scary for the side of Secret, but there's some pressure being placed. We're in the top lane. See Nisha's poking over at Emo back and forth. Smoked up.
I kind of feel like IG has two plays now. They either like disable pick off somebody, or they just wait out the or fight through the BKBs, try to stay alive, and then drop mega strong Kunkka abilities. But it's like almost going high ground. Just really thinking about it.
Coming out from the side of IG. They're hunting. Zai. The Yapser is going to be the first person that they spot out. Follow up with the fissure, the shadow step, and that is going to be a dead Yapser. Do they get anything else? That was the question. Yes, they do. They found themselves a Nisha, and the jump forward again. Echo Slam comes out. They'll get the kill on JT. Followed up with the Gale Force wind. My God, it is just a tempest going on over here. JT buying back. X marks the spot over onto Poppy. They have a decent amount of damage. They're going to follow. They get the shackle up though over on the side. Kaka falls. Emo chasing after Poppy. Another buyback. This Lion is not happy to be sent back to hell. And he wants to be a part of this fight. The Roche is going to be coming up soon. They do not want to allow Secret to get their hands on that Aegis.
Yeah, very important you're alive here. So JT comes back. He runs right for his gem. It looked a little scary there. It's a good moment to throw up the shield and run away, back away very slowly from Secret, but small gold advantage with those buybacks, and they're just going to start it.
They just walk right into the pit. Torrent tossed out. Got the vision. Follow Gale Force way to sleep. And now the force still. Is it going to be enough? Do they have the vision? They go jumping right back in again. Side they have it. They'll turn around the silence. Everything coming out. Now they'll take down Kaka. There's a stop. It's beautiful. They go right back in. And they're just dishing out too much damage. They'll take out Zai. Emo now forced to run. The shackle connects. He'll be next to fall, but they get another step lifeline. Just cutting way over on Tanisha. Is he going to be able to stay alive? He's going to be there. Oh, he's not. Downhill. Go. They'll follow up and get themselves a kill on JT. Buybacks, a mass coming out from the side of IG.
They got to buy back. They can't let this Roche go down. But with that said, Secret's going to hit it. Lifestealer was the crucial kill there. They had to get him. They had a great setup. They landed a stomp. They landed a stun. They spear him to the back wall, but they just couldn't gap close and finish him off. Here's that fight. It was Torrent first. They go for Stomp. They go for Impale. That push from the Wind Ranger just made it hard, and the double shackle as well. Landed on Lion and Emo. As a result, Matoma gets rage off. He starts life-stealing. He kills the supports, and then he gets an infest on his ally. His HP slowly going up there, and finally they're able to start picking off heroes when he pops back out. Emo again shackle shotted by Yapsor. Those disables so crucial for them to win the fight and grab the Aegis. And now they got another free X.
No, it's windy weather again. Gotta wear a warm coat. Emo, the break, the silence. Matu just chasing him down, gets a couple of these nice hits. Fly, trying to assist, trying to help, but it's going to be quite enough. All right, the force back, follow the stop, nice force again. Uh-oh, this is not looking good. And that's going to be the Aegis Puppy. Are they going to be able to go in and save Matu is the question. It's pretty damn difficult. The Echo Flame, they're coming out from Zard. They turn again. Again, they just take down Flylight. No buyback on the Spectre. Beautiful sleep coming out from ID, but Secret, they don't care. They're going to take a short little nap after that, and then they're going to go right back in and get ya. Kaka's next to fall. Emo just gets thrown around by these Gale Force winds. The DG comes out. Team Secret just looking too damn dominant.
Absolutely incredible performance from Team Secret. They must be so happy right now. Man, that game was even for a long time, but they crushed it. Absolutely crushed it in those mid-game team fights. They force-staffed their allies. They glimmer-caped them. They bought them time to survive, and they won the fight.
Absolutely incredible, just neck and neck the entire time, just watching these two teams battle it out, watching them play a game of cat and mouse the entirety as they just find